I like Fortnite and I also like Warzone. So the best thing to do is obviously build the Gulag in Fortnite. So I started off by building the frame of the Gulag with just normal wood which you use to build fight or just use a normal Fortnite. I use this mechanic quite a bit, especially in like where I have to build like layouts which I'm not sure how they turn out. So I start building stuff with the normal Fortnite wood and kind of create some shapes and look what looks best. So I just started out building the Gulag here, and then as soon as I was happy with that, I started texturing the whole stuff. And what I mean with texturing is that I obviously replaced the wooden, normal Fortnite wood with some galleries. In this case, it was the haunted gallery and some wood from other galleries, but it's not too important. So I basically only used one gallery here, and in most cases, I also only use the grid snap. I wanted to make this very easy so you guys can see how easy it is to build stuff like this and don't get overwhelmed by having too many different things in here. So as soon as I was finished with the look of the whole thing, I started building the inside of the Gulag. And obviously in here, it's very important that you create a very playable environment. So make sure that you break line of sight, that players have time to kind of hide or whatever that might be. But try to be custom and try to don't stick too much to the actual Warzone Gulag and try to make your own one. You can be as custom as you are. Just try to break line of sights and make it interesting, make it look very nice, and make it look like a Gulag or whatever you're going for. And as I finished the layout for the Gulag, I just started, making it a little bit nicer, adding wood here and there, adding pillars, making it look more a little bit realistic to an actual like fallen down castle or whatever. And then I was finished basically. You can obviously go for yourself as detailed as you want, but you don't have to do that. Also at the end, I kind of went a little bit off my actual goal and just building the Gulag and actually build a whole kind of castle around it, which is definitely not needed, but it looks nice, so I just, thought, why not? And if you're wondering how you can build the angled walls, all you have to do is basically go build a wall in the normal place. You can even build it in a grid to snap, then turn on building to prop, and then select all the stuff, and then you can just turn it. It is super easy, but now we have to do the mechanics, obviously. And there are two ways on how you can do this. Obviously, you could have a Zonewars map and then have players drop into this one and then have to fight for another chance to get in. You could do that, or you could have a deathmatch. So first of all, the thing that we should discuss is how we get players inside of this if we have a Zonewars map. There's a lot of ways, obviously, but one of the easiest ways I would say is using player spawn pads. So you can get them by obviously going to creative, then devices, and then you take out spawn pads. So how this would work is if a player spawns on a spawn pad in your Zonewars match, you then have to disable it immediately. So you can go in here and then have to change when player spawns here. You can put whatever number in here. Let's say, I don't know, 10. And then you have to do the same thing on disabling. So the second someone spawns on the spawn pad, it gets disabled. So obviously you also want to have the teams in here, which is very important. And obviously after that, you want to have a spawn pad in your Gulag, which then gets activated. So you want to have a spawn pad in here, and then you want to disable that from the beginning. So enable during phase none. And then you want to have enabled the same as, the one before, which has channel sun. And then if a player spawns in the Zonewars match and then the spawn pad gets disabled, he dies, and then he comes in the Gulag with this spawn pad here. Okay, so let's quickly try this out. So we're spawning on a spawn pad, you can see it right now. It immediately gets disabled, which is great. So now we die in our Zonewars match. And we are spawning inside of the Gulag, which is great. So first step done. And obviously if you have a deathmatch just inside of the Gulag or whatever, or if you have like whatever a 1v1 tournament in here, you obviously can just spawn him inside of here. You don't have to do this extra, little thing. So the next thing is, how do we get players to actually play against each other in the tournament arena? So there are multiple ways on how you can do this, and I will show you guys the easiest one because there are a lot of very cool ways and automatic ways on how you can do this. But obviously that would be super complicated and it would take forever to explain. So we're going to do the easy route, and then we have a manual kind of enter into the Gulag. So you can see you can have like a trigger here, which then you have to hit and then to enter the Gulag. And obviously you want to tell your players hit the trigger to enter the match to start the 1v1. And then you want to have a trigger, and important in here is that you have times can trigger it once, so only one person can enter from that side. Obviously, you want to also have a trigger on the other side, so two persons can enter at the same time, or enter the 1 versus 1. And then you make sure that you have times can trigger it on 1, so no one else can hit the trigger and just spawn into the match, which would be horrible, obviously, in a 1 versus 1. And then you want to have it reset. Obviously, after the game is done, you want to be able, the players can join again. And you want to have obviously a channel which transmit to a teleporter, which you then put inside of the Gulag and where the first player spawns. And then obviously in teleporter you can copy and paste these settings. You can put teleport group and teleport target group to none. Obviously make, if it's visible, it depends on you. And then teleport to when receiving from. You want to have that to the linked up to the channel, obviously. And then when teleported to transmit, you want to set that to another channel. I'll show you that in a second why. And obviously you want to copy and paste the same thing on the other side. So you have here, and then we have also trigger here. So the players can spawn in. And important is also that you have to make a mechanism which prevents the players from already running around if they enter early or whatever. So you want to have like barriers here. And obviously, you have to disable the barriers at the beginning of the match. So what you can do is you can have a trigger. Obviously, you want to not have it visible in game. So, and the settings in here are times can trigger 1, but I don't think that matters too much. It's just safety first. And then transmit every X trigger. So that means this trigger has to be activated twice to actually send a signal. And then we obviously want to have the channel 5 in here, which we already saw is if someone teleports into this portal here, we send a signal to this little device over here, to this trigger. So the second both players are spawned in, this trigger got 2 signals and it will be activated, and then activates on channel 6 and then deactivates all of the barriers, which is very important, that you have that at the same time, obviously. So what you can do in here, and then obviously you want to also have a channel in here, which make it visible again, make it kind of on again, and that is like kind of if the match resets. And for the most important thing, the actual fight itself, obviously you need to have one winner. And in Warzone, there's actually a flag if you take too long to kind of capture, so the match doesn't go on forever. So you can have the same thing here. You can have a capture area and use it as a flag, and all you have to change it here is basically whatever color you want to have, and then it can be captured by all teams. Control time is on you. You can kind of decide whatever you want to have here. Take control faster while emoting. I mean, you can have that. It's not necessary, but whatever. And obviously the most important thing is when control change, transmit on. So that is the most important setting. So if a player takes the flag, he gets sent back to the Zonewars area or to the spawning area, whatever you have. And also you need to make sure that this channel resets all the other things. So the barriers go back on, the triggers gets reset. So basically you could have like channel 100 in here. So this one should be channel 100. And this one should be, and this one as well, turn visible on, obviously on channel 100. So currently we only have the capture area in here. So you can only leave the area if you capture the flag. So you could also use elimination manager. So how this thing works is basically if someone gets the elimination, you can send, or if someone gets eliminated, you can send signals. So you can do that the same way here. So for example, you have to set up more, and that's the reason why I don't like to use these. If the player gets elimination, you can send them back to the arena, to the whatever Zonewars area. And that is how you can do that. There's a lot of other ways in how you can set up this whole scenario. Obviously, your creativity is there's no limit, and you have to kind of play around what works best for your scenario. But this is how you can build a Gulag in Fortnite. Hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully it could help you. Quick reminder, because a lot of people ask me, we now have memberships. So if you want to join, completely free on you. Obviously, don't spend money that you don't have. I don't want you guys to waste any money on me. But if you want to support the channel, that would be super great. And yeah, obviously do the same shit as always. Subscribe, leave a like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.